Let's bring in Michelle Wie, U.S. Open champ. It's been 10 years since we've had you on, Michelle. Where have you been?
I've been, I'm in college, playing on tour, just the normal stuff.
All right. Congratulations, by the way, on
Thank you.
U.S. Open champ. And I didn't enjoy Pinehurst #2 at all.
You didn't?
No.
Why not?
Because you can hit those great, good shots. No, I don't hit great shots, but good shots. And those greens, those turtle back greens, it got depressing after a while.
Oh.
Was it fun, though, playing a tough course like that? Or would you rather play where you're 15 under?
Oh, my God. Pinehurst is spectacular. I thought it looked so cool, especially how it browned out with the native and everything. The turtleback, I thought it was pretty amazing just because you really had to prepare well for the tournament. There were some spots and some pins that you could not be in. And I think my caddy and we did a really good job of just preparing and knowing where to miss it. A lot of times I wasn't going for the pin. I was just going for the middle of the green. But I looked back and I was like, that course was spectacular. It was so cool.
All right, more impressive, your performance at Pinehurst #2 or your celebration of winning at Pinehurst #2?
I had fun. It was so much fun. What I would really like to see is the Danettes twerking.
Oh.
I would really, really like to see that.
No, because somebody could get injured there, Michelle.
I don't know. I could do a couple of hip exercises. It might be good for you.
I don't know. Well, you know what? We'll work on it. I'll show them the video of you twerking and see if one of these guys. And then you're drinking beer out of the cup too, right?
Yeah, it was fun. I worked really hard for it, and it's just really fun to see all my friends come together, and we had a great time.
What was the lowest point though you've had? Because this is the highest, but what was the point where you go, "Am I going to win?" The pressures, the expectations.
There were a couple. There was a good couple of months where I was, wasn't healthy. I had some health issues. I was injured. And it was tough. It was definitely tough. I got to the point where I started, sometimes to doubt myself. But, it was really with the help of my family and friends and, all my sponsors that they really helped me out of it and helped me just to keep believing in myself.
But also to have fun that, you start out, you're on the world stage at 14. Would you, when you look back, if you were going to give any, tips to a parent who has, you had an 11-year-old playing, was it too soon for you, too much for you looking back?
No, my parents never pushed me to do anything. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world to turn pro at 16. I did it on my birthday because I wanted to get myself a birthday present. And that was my birthday present to myself, turning pro. I wouldn't give anything back. It's hard. Parents don't have a guidebook. Parents don't have a manual, how to handle kids, and especially in the situation. It was my first time my parents ever done it, first time I ever done it. We certainly made mistakes along the way, but I definitely think that we all learned from it. We all had a blast. It was great. It's definitely been a roller coaster, definitely given my parents a lot of gray hairs over the years. But, it's been a really fun journey.
Talking to Michelle Wie, U.S. Open champ, amateur twerker, joining us on the program. Explain that putting stance. At what point did you say, Eureka, I found it?
I did it 2012. It was my worst putting year. I was 115th in the rankings in putting. And it was actually one of the last tournaments of the year, and I was not feeling comfortable. In the middle of the round, I kind of just messed around with different stances, different, grips, just trying to find something comfortable. And, I bent down, and I was like, oh, wow, this feels really good. I actually putted really great coming in. And my next tournament, I had 0 3-putts, and I felt really comfortable. And then people started commenting on it, like, oh, when did you do that? Or, you look really funny, you look really weird. And I was like, what are you talking about? It doesn't feel weird at all. And then someone showed me a picture. I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, whoa, that's that's extreme. But, I'm not in the business of looking cool. I feel comfortable. So, it worked out great.
Well, you're so tall. That's why it looks so odd, I think, to people. Like if you were 5'2", people wouldn't look at it, but what are you, 6 feet?
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks a little different as you
well,
bend over.
I always wanted to be short, so, I kind of found a way.
Are you going to challenge or try to go against the men in any way, shape, or form down the road?
it was really funny, playing at Pinehurst, the week after the men. It kind of overlapped. I, got to see Ricky Fowler and Martin Keimer play in the last round. It was really funny running into Fluff and kind of seeing everyone on the men's tour again. It was really nice to see everyone. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but, it's probably very unlikely that I will do that.
How would you have done from the men's tees at Pinehurst number 2?
It's a tough golf course. It was tough enough from the up tees. I don't want to know what it was like from the back.
How many holes in one do you have in your life?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have to buy... Well, let's say you're 16, you get a hole in one. Do you have to buy drinks for the clubhouse?
No, I don't think I did. I think it was just, buying a soda for everyone.
Oh.
But I actually had 2 in tournaments, which is really cool. And the next one that I do, my caddy promised me we're gonna chest bump, so that'd be really excited.
Chest bump.
I got pretty close this year a couple of times, and I was definitely loosening up the shoulders. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting if I do.
The balance of having school and going to Stanford. Sometimes we need a break. Sometimes it's like self-imposed or somebody else does it for us, that you need a so-called normal lifestyle. The importance of actually going to college and trying to be just a student, how did that help your golf?
It was the best 4.5 years of my life. I think anyone who's kind of gone to college would tell you the same thing. And I really didn't understand when people said that, and now I do. Going to Stanford was one of my biggest goals ever since I was a little girl. It was my dream school to go to, and getting my diploma there meant so much to me just because, my family legacy there. And, I just feel so lucky. I had so much fun. I was completely normal. People cared more about Andrew Luck than me anyway, so I kind of flew under the radar.
Did you ever play golf with Andrew Luck?
No, I actually lived 2 doors down from him, so he's a really cool guy.
Was he a nerd, or was that where you were sipping beer out of cups and twerking and playing beer pong?
He's definitely a nerd. I mean, we're all nerds at Stanford. He was an architect major, and it was really cool. It was a really cool balance at school, because I like to think we were fun. We were definitely fun, but at the same time, people were so amazing and how they can study and all the things that they accomplished. I met so many cool people at Stanford. The
best former Stanford student right now in golf is who? Mm-hmm. Right now, today?
Oh, I don't know. Obviously Tiger Woods,
Could you take Tiger right now today?
Oh, my God, I have no idea.
But coming back from his back surgery, this would be the time.
This would be the time. It'd be the opportune time. But I don't know.
You're not ready for that?
I'm not.
What are you doing in New York?
I'm doing a couple of interviews here. I just was really lucky to be on the Today Show on Fox and Friends, and I think we're going to CNN and go on top of the Empire State Building. It's just, I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm like pinching myself. I just don't believe it.
What's the dream show? Like if I said your guilty pleasure.
Oh my God, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, did he invite you on?
Oh, and obviously the Dan Patrick Show.
Oh, well, nice, Michelle. That's nice. Nice recovery there. It was a nice recovery shot there from the rough. So has Fallon invited you?
I think they're taking a break from taping, but I would love to.
Have you been on Fallon?
No, I have not.
Well, damn it, I'm getting you on Fallon. All right?
Okay.
I will. As soon as we hang up, I'm going to get
Will we both twerk on Fallon?
Oh, my gosh. You know what? You go first, and then I'll see if I can. I have daughters, and they can attest to Dad shouldn't twerk. It's not good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, it's not good. Does your dad twerk?
Oh my God, I completely agree with you. Dad should never twerk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's my out. So I would love to, but I can't because I'm a dad. Congratulations, Michelle. Awesome.
Thank you
and
so much.
The celebration as well. And during the commercial break, one of the Danettes will twerk in your honor.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. It's Michelle Wie, U.S. Open champ.